Hello, loves. This is Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another live welcome. If you are just now tuning in or you're catching the replay, hit the like button to help my message get spread across these YouTube streets. Baby, have we got a good live tonight? Okay. This is a cautionary tale of when being a pick me and being in competition with other women goes all the way left. Okay. So for those of y'all who don't know, Jasmine Brown is a comedian. I actually knew of her before she started dating Cam Newton. And I always thought she was really funny. What's up, Jamal? Good to see you, brother. Oh boy, did you see that Wolves Laker game? No, I don't watch basketball or sports like that, to be honest. If I watch it, it's gotta be live. What happened? Is this something I should talk about? Is it within my realm of content? Um, anyway, so we have Jasmine Brown, who is dating Cam Newton currently, and honestly and truly, from the looks of it, they might not even be together still, based on some of the things that she was saying. Now, I knew of her before she started dating Cam Newton because she had this persona, which was like Toya Turnup. And honestly, she's so pretty. And her skits reminded me of Bapes, like Halle Berry on, not Bapes, Baps. Halle Berry on Baps. That's what it was given. She would have like the gold teeth and the blonde wig. And honestly and truly, I feel like that was an opportunity for her to explore this like ghetto get money chicks side of herself that she didn't feel like she could explore in her day to day, right? With that said, before she got with Cam Newton, she would always kind of give women advice about not settling and not letting men play them. You know, she's not a young girl. I think she was over the age of 30 when she got with Cam Newton, right? So it's a situation going into where we knew as the audience, or we knew as people who had been following her, that she knew better. So, like, if she was a young girl, I would give her some grace. I have absolutely no grace to give her. Here's my thing: you don't always have to go through trials and tribulations to learn a lesson. Sometimes all you have to do is look around in your environment and see how situations normally turned out and have common sense enough to not touch that hot stove. But you have some people who think that they are the exception to the rule. Pretty women have this so bad. I say this all the time. Being pretty is not a cure to all life's problems. It can get you through the door. It can get you access and opportunity that other people wouldn't otherwise have. But it doesn't change who people are. It doesn't make people treat you better. A lot of the times it makes people treat you worse. A lot of the times people have resentment towards you. And a lot of the times you attract the wrong type of attention because lustful spirits and lustful people just want to use and abuse you. That's it. That's all. So when you're pretty, you have to have discernment. Okay. Uh, with that said, I'm going to play a clip of an interview that Jasmine Brown did recently. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, Cam Newton has two other baby mothers. So he had a baby with a girl named, I think it was either 3 or 4 kids. I know she came into the relationship with one kid. So she had a baby. She had like a baby before. Then I think she had either 3 or 4 kids with Cam Newton. Honestly, I'm not sure, but I know it's around that. That's a ballpark figure. And Cam Newton met her in the strip club. And at the time he met her, she did not want to be married. Again, they got together really young. And that's why I say stop building all these attachments with people when you are 18, 19, 20, 21. It's certain things you really should not be doing before the age of 25. Honestly and truly. Having children, in my opinion, is one of them. So people build all these attachments when you're in a space in life where you don't even really know yourself like that. And Kia decided later on she actually did want to be married, but Cam didn't want to do that. She had 4 kids for him. He still didn't want to marry her. And as far as we know, she was a good chick. Like, even to this day, you don't hear Kia's name in any type of gossip. And her and Kim have been broken up for a while. You don't hear about anybody that she's dating. She's not in drama. She's not on these basketball wives or football wives or whatever the case may be. She's chilling. She's taking care of her kids. She's out the way. She doesn't really speak on Kim like that. So she seems like she's a good woman. And even Cam said he messed that situation up. Well, she had these 4 kids for him. He still did not want to marry her after that. As a matter of fact, he went and had a side baby on her. And Cam didn't think that she was going to stand on business and leave, but she gathered her and all her kids and she moved around. She moved around. So he had a side baby. And then after the side baby, here comes Jasmine Brown, who is a thriving comedian on her way up, a beautiful girl, and she doesn't have any kids. Now, I know a lot of people make blanket statements and say people with no children shouldn't date people with children. And what I will say with is this: don't let people shame you into dating people that have children. If you know in your heart of hearts that you don't like kids or that you don't want to deal with what all comes with that, then it is perfectly okay for you to say, I don't want to date somebody that has children. What I will say is have integrity and don't waste their time. Don't be acting like you like somebody or don't be sleeping with somebody that you know you're never going to take seriously, right? With that said, though, I am going to give some advice not to be too closed-minded about it. Honestly and truly, you have to take every situation case by case. And that's why I want to make this disclaimer before I get into Cam Newton's exact situation. I know there are a lot of women right now who tell other women don't date men with kids because they come with XYZ. Well, hold up, you got to get to know the person. Same thing that goes for these red pill men who just advise men don't date single mothers. Well, what if they like the woman? What if she's a good woman? Just because your heart got broken by a single mom or the single mom that you wanted don't want you doesn't mean that you should be telling men not to date single mothers just because you're salty now. Things have to be taken on a case by case basis. What I will say is this: if you're going to date somebody that has a kid and you don't have kids, the number of kids that they have matters. Their co-parenting situation also matters. Do they have a toxic baby mama or a toxic baby daddy? Is there always contention? Have they worked out the visitation schedule? Have they worked out the child support or whatever it is that they got going on? Also, what is that person looking for when they're dating you? This is a message to all the single parents. Stop dating and looking for somebody to fill in the gaps that the biological parent is not able to. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Me as a single mom, I'm blessed enough to where my daughter's dad will take care of anything she needs. All I got to do is call and ask. It's not a situation for me where I'm looking for a stepfather or a father figure for my daughter. She has that already. Anybody that I date would just need to be nice to her. That's it. I'm not looking for somebody to come do anything extra for my daughter, right? And honestly and truly, it would probably be a while before I even introduce somebody that I date to my daughter. Like, it would have to be serious, right? But you got some women out here who are looking for people to be father figures in their kids' life. And honestly and truly, if a man wants to do that out of the kindness of his heart, that's great. I don't think that's fair to expect that of somebody. I think the most you can expect is that they be kind to your kids. Also, if you are a single parent, you have to be mindful of how you raise your children, how you raise your kids to respect adults. Nobody wants to be with a single parent who has disrespectful ass kids, honestly and truly. Nobody wants to be with a single parent that's not handling their business when it comes to their kids. So, all of that stuff matters. Let me see what you got to say, Jamal. Cam Newton's grandstanding is so irritating. Him pretending to be this super decent, wise, loving guy on camera is just nauseating. Oh, yeah. I don't think he's really the guy that he thinks he is, but I will say this. I like Cam Newton. I don't think he's a bad guy. I think this is a situation where you have an athlete who got all this money and attention and all these women thrown at him before he was able to mature. It's very dangerous when you give people all that status and everything they could ever want in the world and they have not mentally mature. Most people cannot handle it, right? I've said this before and I'll say it again. A lot of athletes are not out here getting girls when they're young the way that you think that they are. A lot of the times when these athletes were in high school, they didn't have time to do anything but sports, right? Or they started developing a deep distrust towards women because, to be honest, and I've noticed this, and y'all grown women are trifling. I noticed this with even some of my boys in high school. A lot of the times, when girls or even grown women see that a young man, even a man that's underage, is on his way up, they will start plotting on him really young. So a lot of the times these athletes don't develop deep connections with women because they don't know who they can trust. And in this situation with Jasmine Brown, she's over here being the servant, cooking and cleaning for him and ironing his clothes and being patient with him. And she thinks that that's going to somehow change his mind towards her. But what she doesn't understand is when you're at Cam Newton's level, you can easily replace a woman like Jasmine Brown. There's always going to be a woman that's willing to cook, clean, and pack a man's luggage. For the coin, that ain't hard to find. So you could tell a man like that, I'm with you because I love you and I'm here for you. He'll never believe it because at the end of the day, you were not with him when he was broke. And he sits around and he sees a lot of his peers go broke and the so-called good women that they were with that love them leave them. You can never prove to a man like that you were there for them. Never. They gotta want to treat you right. They gotta want marriage. They gotta want to see the value in you. Other than that, there's nothing you can do. Never trust the genuineness of an unmarried NFLer. Yeah, and let me say this: there are good men who are in the NFL. Y'all just don't hear about them. You know what? When I was in Texas, I met quite a few football players who were in the NFL who were Samoans. And their culture is very family oriented. Those Samoans, the Tongans, a lot of them play football. They may not be as big of a name as Cam Newton, but they still have a lot more money than the average man. You would be surprised at how family oriented and faithful they are to their women. So I'm not going to say all NFL players are cheaters, right? I think the ones that are not cheaters don't get enough press. But you would be surprised. Like when I worked in the clubs, there would be a lot of Samoan football players that would come in. And the only reason why they would come is because their family members dragged them along or something like that. And they were not thirsty acting. They were not trying to take the girls' numbers, even the ones that were single. Like they were really kind of focused and locked in, right? Yeah, but Mariah, that's what all those guys bragged about when I was in high school, that the perks of being a high school athlete. But you're right, they have no trust nor appreciation for women. Right. And I'm going to tell y'all one of the reasons why they don't have any trust nor appreciation for women. So you had Jasmine Brown talking all that shit and giving women advice about keeping our standards and, dating for the right reasons. But she ended up being the third baby mama and getting played by Cam Newton, all because he was a dude with some money. And this is not my assessment of the situation. She said this out her mouth. Matter of fact, I'm going to roll the clip. Give me 1 second. If y'all are just now coming in, please hit the like button. So this is Jasmine Brown on a stand-up tour during the time that she was pregnant by Cam Newton, and people gave her a lot of flack for being the third baby mama.
Oh no, I'm the third one, and this is his sixth child. Someone said, "Ooh, like couldn't have been me." All right, so the rich nigga put that pressure on you.
Okay, I gotta say this. I have been around plenty of rich men, especially during my 20s. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know if she thinks that just because she's pretty and she's a well-known comedian that she's the only woman that gets attention from rich dudes. But like rich dudes are more than just football players. There are rich dudes who own their own accounting firms. There are rich dudes who do finance. There are rich dudes who are like do something in medical or tech or are doctors and lawyers. There are plenty of rich men out here. Not every woman gets around a rich dude and is easily impressed, especially if you're always around rich dudes. As a matter of fact, the more you be around them, the more you start noticing how weird a lot of them are. A lot of them are on that booger sugar. A lot of them have weird fetishes. I got a couple homegirls who told me they were dating rich dudes and the dudes asked them to peg them. Can I say that on YouTube? Okay, so now not only are you freaky as hell, your sexuality is questionable at this point, right? There are a lot of rich dudes who are financially controlling. There are a lot of rich dudes who don't have standards. She thinks she got his attention just because she was beautiful, but understand this, the same woman like that looks like Jasmine Brown can get attention from Cam Newton. Cam Newton will also give that to a big old 300-pound girl that ain't all that attractive in the face. I've seen it. Let me tell y'all something. I used to work with this girl, and she was a well-known, really popular girl. She was very pretty. But what I will say in terms of intelligence and in terms of what she had going on with her outside of her looks, she came a dime a dozen. A rapper or a ball player could easily replace this kind of girl. So I remember she was dating a boy that was a man that was an NFL player. He played for the Cowboys. And I remember her coming and bragging about how he paid $18,000 for her BBL. And she always talked about all these things he was doing for her, which my whole thing is this: you got to decide if you are going to be a lover girl or a hoe. You can't be both. And that's the problem with a lot of women. And I'll get into that with this story. A lot of y'all don't know if you're in it for the money or if you're in it for love. You can't have both. I'm not saying that you have to date broke dudes who are lazy, who don't go to work, who have absolutely no ambition. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you're dating and dealing with certain type of men, especially rappers and professional athletes, you cannot deal with those type of men if you have any kind of lover girl in you. You will get played every single time. I do not care if you try to rationalize it or talk yourself into believing that you're going to be able to deal with these men and just get the bag. If that ain't you, that ain't you. And there are some women who can do it. There are some women who are built like that. They are natural born hoes. They never get in their feelings and behind any man. If a man hurt their feelings or make them feel some type of way, they can easily bounce to the next dude, get the bag, and move around, and they're not going to get in their feelings like that. Most women are not built like that. And mainstream media got y'all believing that y'all are. And these women who are preaching to y'all about getting these rich dudes are lying to y'all. They're giving you bad advice and bad information. The reality is, most aren't built like that. And if you're a lover girl, then you got to be okay with spending a lot of nights alone. Because once you start observing your environment, you'll realize a lot of people are out here with bad intentions. A lot of people don't want to deal with you for the right things. A lot of people have a lot of messed up stuff going on in their life, or a lot of trauma, or a lot of vices that they are not willing to deal with. So you got to be okay with just saying, hey, I'll be alone, or I'm just gonna wait until somebody come along that I feel like I can vibe with, that I feel like is genuine. Because honestly and truly, there are not too many genuine people out here in 2025, and that goes for men and women. With that said, this girl dated the ball player, whoop-de-woo. She started getting in her feelings. He's taking her around his family. Little does she know, the whole time he's messing with a chick that's like huge, like not as attractive as her. She's huge. So anyway, she finds out about the chick. She sees them together, and she tries to run them over with a car. So guess who gets arrested and go to jail? This beautiful girl, right? So now you have a record in behind a man that cheated on you with a woman that was not even half your caliber in terms of looks. And guess what is the crazy part about it? This woman probably wasn't the only one. That's how a lot of those football players did. A lot of those football players that are on the Cowboys, they would have a different girl in every single club, and each one of them was always bragging and thought they were the only one. And each one of them thought they were going to get saved and get wifed up, only to be looking crazy and foolish at the end. But honestly and truly, I can't blame the men, because when you talk to these women, they were complete dodo birds and airheads. They had absolutely nothing going on mentally, just looks. The math is mathing. It is what it is. Deal with it or find a guy in a different profession. It's facts. Or in a different financial class. And there are men who have money who are disciplined. They're difficult to find. And I'm going to go back to another reason why I say you shouldn't necessarily discount somebody just because they have kids. So there's a male figure in my life who I really look up to. Like, when I think about the standard of what a man should be, it's gonna be him. He's very, very disciplined in everything that he does. Where he goes, the environment he surrounds himself in, what he puts in his body, his working out. Like, he will not go to a strip club or anything like that, right? Um, but anyways, when he met his wife now, he already had a son, but he was taking care of his son. Matter of fact, he had got custody of his son, right? The wife that he met was really classy, just a sweet lady. Like, I really love her. I love her personality. But at first, she didn't want to take him seriously because she was like, I don't want to date a man that has kids. I don't know how he convinced her to date him, but they ended up getting married. And, before, like, most of their marriage, he was not a millionaire, but he was a hard worker. And I think she gave him a pass because of his character. Now he is a millionaire. She quit her job. She doesn't have to work. She's living that, that bougie, housewife lifestyle. They have 2 kids together. But my point is that she gave him a chance when other people and her first mind was telling her not to do it just because he had a kid. With that said, he's always been a person of good character, right? There's nobody in our city that will speak bad on his name. Anybody that knows him will say from a young age he's been a stand-up man. Period. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta try to get to know the situation case by case. With the situation with Cam Newton, the red flags were already there. First of all, he got 4 kids and he got a bonus baby, right? And then on top of that, he had the second baby mama, and he had that baby because he cheated on the first baby mama. So already you got a situation that is a no-go. Do not pass go, because this is more than a situation of circumstance where the relationship didn't work out, or where they couldn't see eye to eye, or they outgrew each other. This is a situation where his relationship with his first baby mother ended because he cheated on her. Matter of fact, if she did not leave him, Cam would still be with that first baby mama. So already, as a woman, you're fighting a losing battle. You also got to understand that a lot of the times these men who are like, oh, I'm such a good dad, the only reason why they're able to be these good dads is because there is a woman that's in the house holding it down. So they'll move their mothers in with them. They'll move an auntie or a sister in with them and have that woman doing the domestic labor. And what Jasmine Brown didn't realize is that Cam Newton was plotting on her to begin with. Him and Kia are splitting custody. I think she gets him the kids half the week. He has the kids for half the week. Guess who's taking care of those kids for him? In terms of cooking the meals and doing the hair and doing all that, Jasmine Brown. Matter of fact, the first baby mama is winning because she gets a break to go do her for half of the week. Well, unless they express themselves that they love the woman and have committed to taking care of her, okay. Well, if a guy is super rich and likes different women, and a woman had a child with him and he delivers what she was in it for, is that okay? It's only okay if the woman is being for real with herself. And that's the point I'm trying to make, Jamal. A lot of women feel like they can get with a man, keep their emotions out of the situation, have a kid, and just get the bag. And there are women who move like that and can do that, and they're not going to miss a beat. They're not hurt. They know what it is. There are women who are natural born hoes and natural born gold diggers. Jasmine Brown ain't it. I also say this: take it out of the context of what the adults want and what the adults are comfortable with. Are these situations the most healthy thing for the children? Like, that's the thing that can work, and they can get along with him and the other women. I know that can happen. It could happen if none of the women want him. If none of the women love or care about him, it can work. Let's think Neo. Now, everybody knows that Neo is a closet gay man. Allegedly. I got to say allegedly. Now, he got these 4 women that he's funding, and he got them under a crazy contract. Do you honestly think any of those women really love Neo? We've been known Neo go the other way or is closeted. We've been known that. I look at all of the women that he's with, I don't see anything that's high quality. It gives booger ugga, it gives ghetto, it gives ratchet, it gives happy to get saved. In a situation like that, it can work because the women don't care about him. They are there for the money. Well, the children will presumably be super rich, but it's not just about that. Children are affected by what they see their mother go through. Children are affected by what they see their father endure. A lot of times, girls will either do one or two things. If they see their mother get treated really bad, they'll be really closed off with men and super guarded. And if they see their mother getting treated really bad, they will also allow a man to treat them really, really bad. It never is the middle ground in a situation like that. It's rarely ever a situation where that woman has a healthy thought of men. Dang, he added another. I thought it was 3, and it's 4 now. It's 4 now. Okay, let's continue with the clip. Y'all, please hit the like button if you're just now coming in.
Never. I could never be with nobody. Okay. Until $100 million start putting the pressure on you. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Talking about what you'll never be. Bitch, you ain't never had.
Okay, so did y'all hear what she said? Talking about you'll never be. Bitch, you ain't never had. So there she goes, trying to put down other women and make it seem like she's better than other women just because Cam Newton gave her some attention or Cam Newton wanted to date her. So here goes that pick me mentality. This is that my man, and that's why you hoes are single. She not gonna mention the part where the only reason why she's with that man is because she's willing to put up with all the BS. Because again, Cam Newton's first baby mother would still be with him, and she wouldn't even be a topic of conversation unless she was willing to be a side chick, which she probably was the way she talking for a long period of time and have a baby and all that, right? So it's to the point where she wouldn't even be a topic of conversation if the first baby mama decided that she was just gonna stay.
Oh, you better than me? I am.
I have beautiful children.
How many?
8.
I didn't do my research. I thought it was 4, but 8. Okay.
No, baby.
Cool.
It's
By how
8.
many women?
3. And this is the kicker. I want more. Now,
By multiple women? What's the intent?
I
You're
just
saying
want God
about
to
your
bring
wife?
them.
Now,
just
I
want God to
don't
bring
know.
them.
Okay, so the
okay. And
numbers
you
are
have- so you
crazy.
just-
Because
So I think when Jazzy was saying he has 6 kids, I don't know where this math is coming from because I think he has 4 biological from Kia. Kia has an older daughter, so that's 5. And he claims the older daughter. He helps provide for her. He helps takes care of her. So again, you know what? I'm not going to say he's a bad person. In some ways, Cam Newton is really stand up, right? So he takes care of her still, even though they're not together. I know he had a baby by the second baby mama. So that's 6. And then he's got the kid by Jasmine at 7. I don't know where the 8th child is coming from. I don't know if there's a baby mama in the cut that we don't know about. I don't know if the second baby mama has a kid that he also helps take care of. Why is this so hard for her to understand? Why is what so hard for who to understand?
my point is this. My desire to get married is lower than my fear of divorce.
Oh, no. I'm the third one, and this is his 6th child.
Okay, so
Jeffree Star has been sleeping with Kanye West.
Give me a second. I want to pull up this clip of Jasmine Brown. I think this was last year. She was saying this about being a servant.
Taco Tuesday is a holiday in this house, and my baby's helping me cook. We got the quesadillas, the yellow rice, the pico, the chalupas are made to order. The special tacos are made to order. Everything else here is done. Chopped up the lettuce real thin like I like it. Everything is good to go. I'm just waiting for everybody to get home so they can have a hot meal after practice. And it's up and it's stuck. Happy Tuesday, y'all. Now that everything is done, I'm going to put my baby to sleep. I don't know about y'all. I don't know what brings you guys joy, but it really brings me joy to serve. I love being a servant. I love to serve. It just brings me joy. I love it. I love serving. I love it. I love it. I don't give a damn. I'll be up at 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning, cooking breakfast, serving. I just love that. I love it. Yeah. It's like, it just gives me purpose. And now with the new baby, now I just feel even more purposeful, especially like when I breastfeed. I feel so full of life. I love it. I love it.
Sis, bullshit yourself. Bullshit yourself. I'm saying this as a mother who breastfed. I breastfed until my daughter was a year and a half. Right? I cook, I homeschool my daughter. I do everything. My daughter has long hair down to her butt. I gotta take care of that. That shit is hard. That shit is hard. Not one time have I did any of that shit and said, this is what gives me purpose in life. I be thinking the whole time I'm doing it, this shit is hard. Now, of course, I love my daughter. We have our moments together. And there's so many times we're just hearing her laugh. I'm like, oh, I'm glad I have somebody here with me. I'm glad she's like such a happy kid. And I'm blessed because my daughter's a happy kid. But I couldn't imagine having like a kid that was super fussy or terrible to deal with, right? But like, I just like being around my daughter because she's a funny, happy person, right? It has more to do with her personality than me feeling like my whole purpose in life was to be a mother. Most of these women be lying when they say that shit. And I'm going to show y'all proof. Exhibit A.
It's funny that you said that you didn't check on your man, because for me, it's like I do so much. I was looking for somebody to check on me. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
I said, because I'm going to say it like this. Postpartum is not talked about enough, and we don't support each other enough in that, and it is hard.
Girl, you wasn't talking about it. You was acting like everybody was attacking your relationship and you felt nothing but joy doing the things that you were doing. She wasn't being honest about how she was struggling. And part of the reason why she wasn't being honest about how she was struggling to take care of her kid, not only her kids, but his children as well. Because let's be clear, she is the caregiver to all his children when they're at his house. The reason why she wasn't being honest about that, because she was so busy trying to go against the grain and prove everybody wrong for the things that they were saying. But people weren't just saying these things for no reason. All the red flags were there before she even got pregnant. She chose not to heed warning. She chose to be combative. She chose to be in competition with other women. She chose to be the servant. And now she wants to sit up here after reality has set in about the situation and act like nobody talks about that struggle enough. Sis, the entire world was warning you about what you were going to go through.
It is hard and it is dark. It is very dark. And you know, it's
Absolutely.
dark. So sometimes just because I might look nice and pretty on the outside doesn't mean that I don't have internal damage going on the inside. Because I woke up, I cooked for everybody, I fed everybody, and I realized it's 4 o'clock. I didn't eat a thing. And nobody.
Girl, we told you that was going to be your life. Warning come before destruction. And a hard head make a soft behind. Girl, the old folks ain't tell you. Some people don't believe that fat meat is greasy, so you got to show them. And girl, you been showed. Well, he's real for taking care of the first woman still. That would be a good incentive to make other women believe that if he impregnates another, they will be taken care of, even if not together. But is it worth it? Hey, Sultry, I'm going to get to you, girl. What's up, sis? Good to see you here. Y'all, if y'all are just now coming in, please hit the like button. That helps everybody know that I'm on live, and it helps my content get spread. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and notification bell. Jamal, it is not worth it. You got to think about it like this. A woman who has a child already is shaving years off of her life expectancy. This is just from birthing one child. Now, if you get with a rich man with the mentality of, I'm going to take care, I'm not only going to birth my own kid, but I'm going to take care of his 4 other children, then understand that you are trading money for years of your life because of the stress and the work and the effort that comes with raising children. In my opinion, it's not a fair exchange. Now, it is possible that a woman can look at it and be like, well, my kid is going to have a good life, but that depends. We just seen Cam Newton get on an interview a couple months ago and talk about how he's not able to provide the way that he used to provide anymore. And he's saying this, and not only is he not able to provide the way he used to provide, he's splitting this across 3 households. So he's admitted that. You would be surprised of how many girls that I knew that I worked with who had babies by ball players who went broke. Because at the end of the day, playing basketball is an opportunity. Playing basketball, football, or any type of sport is an opportunity that you get for a short period of time. If you blow all your money on women, drugs, alcohol, chains, and cars, when your career is over, there's nothing left. And on top of that, you have all of these baby mamas. Men who are financially responsible do not have all these kids at a wedlock. And we can bring up Elon Musk, but football money is not the richest man in the world money. And even I don't agree with him having all those kids because he can't spend time with all of them. But when you have a baby by an athlete who has multiple baby mamas, understand that more than likely he is going to end up broke. So whatever money that you have coming in now, you better save it because there's going to be a point in time where he cannot pay that child support. And he put all his eggs into football and he doesn't have anything better going for himself after that. Ain't that bad. How is he treating her right now? Other women aside. Well, it seemed like what she said in that clip is that nobody's checking on her. So in terms of emotionally, I don't think he's handling that. I don't see Cam Newton as somebody that would treat a woman bad. Like he doesn't he'll cuss the woman out. And I'm saying that because I've seen him be very patient with women, even on his podcast when they try to kind of pick at him or get an emotional reaction out of him. He seems like the type that will try to talk to you, but he also seems very, very manipulative. And if you are not an intelligent woman, let me tell you something. Cam Newton could never run a type of game that he's running on Jazzy on a Gemini woman. Gemini's invented the game. Honestly and truly. I believe that if you did a survey of all the male pimps in jail, that the majority of them would be Geminis. He could never play them type of mind games on a Gemini woman. Not for too long. Okay? We might let you get away with some things for a little bit, but it would never get this far. I promise you. Hey, what's up, D Malley? It's good to see you, brother. Yeah, it's not a fair exchange at all, in my opinion. It's not fair. And my whole thing with Jazzy is she's beautiful. She didn't have to be desperate. Again, she was on her way up in her career. She's not focused on that anymore. She has a kid, gorgeous girl. It's like she just jumped on the first rich dude that showed her attention. When if she would have just stayed focused and kept her standards high and passed up on Cam Newton, she would have ran across plenty of men that had way more money and not an excess of baby mamas in their lives. But when you have a scarcity mindset and you're in this constant state of, oh, I gotta prove my worth, I gotta prove my love, I gotta prove my self-value, or I gotta hop on this one because another one might not come, then you start making stupid decisions.
Nobody even asked me if I ate a thing. Baby on the titty all day. She good. She chunky and fed. And here I am, starving, malnourished, losing my ass.
Jasmine.
It's hard.
It's real.
It's really hard. And I think that it just goes back to your support system. It's funny that you said that you didn't check on your man, because for me, it's like I do.
Okay, but here's the thing, Jasmine. You can't have a support system of women when you think that you're better than them or you look down on them. And one thing I will say for my ladies who are considering having children who might not already have kids, if the support system is not there before you have the kid, it's not going to be there after you have the kid. Point blank, period. That is a really important thing to consider. Do I have a mom, sister, auntie, other female family members who are willing to help me, or friends who are willing to help me? And don't go by people telling you to have the kid and saying, oh, we'll help you. No. The evidence and proof needs to be of how they have previously shown up in your life and how you've seen them show up for other women. You cannot take people's word about what they will do once the baby comes, because once the baby comes, people get to acting real funny. All of a sudden, people are too busy. All of a sudden, people ain't never got no time. All of a sudden, well, it was your responsibility to take care of the kid, which it is. So if you don't have a support system, I don't suggest that you have kids, because you're going to be stressed out and tired. Let's see what Cam Newton had to say here.
In those situations, she has held me accountable to tell me, yo, that made me feel fucked up, babe. I ain't gonna lie to you. But why, babe? Okay, you gonna sit up here and be with this chick and not be with me? Like, and you playing with me? Okay, cool. Let's go on a walk. Let's talk about it. Let's understand. It's not always one-dimensional where I'm speaking how I want to do and vice versa. I think she speaks on how it makes her feel. I speak on how it makes me feel, and then go about it like that. So I don't promote
Okay, that goes back to what I said about you have a lover girl who wants to play the games that a hoe plays, but she ain't built for it. If you get into a situation with a man like Cam Newton who says, I love you, baby, I want to be with you, I'm gonna pay for you, I'm gonna take care of you, but I'm also gonna have other women, then if you agree to it, you cannot get in your feelings nor question him when he does exactly what he said he's gonna do, which is be out here with these hoes. And the fact that she even felt compelled to question him lets me know she's not built for it, because a real hoe don't give a damn. Matter of fact, she probably got her one or two other dudes on the side just in case. Cam Newton probably not the only dude she getting some money from. So right off top, the girl ain't built for it. She's way in over her head. That's why it's important for you to know yourself.
Multiple, this, that, and the third. I don't have no web of women.
I don't understand. You saying it ain't no other woman but the one woman?
Yes. At this point of my life right now, I think where me and Jazz are, she's helped me nurture me to being exclusively to her. And it comes with time, that comes with patience, that comes with uncomfortable conversations that say, hey, babe, well, hold on. You did what? Okay, not motherfucker, let me tell you. No, that's not the energy that she's coming with.
Of course.
She's saying, hold on, but why?
Let me tell you something. I'm not talking no type of sweet or calm to a dude that is cheating on me. Mind you, I don't even know if we can call it cheating, because she knew he was coming with this. Right? But clearly they're having problems now. It's not just this clip, but I saw something else a while ago that made me question, well, are they even together? Now, in this exact moment, when he was doing this interview, he could have been being faithful to her. That's why he specified like right now. He could have been, but things change. They're constantly shifting and they're constantly evolving. He's already talked about how he feels like less than a man because he can't provide the way he used to. And in this situation, it doesn't matter how nurturing you are to a man, he will go do what he needs to do to help him feel like a man. And unfortunately, you babying him is not what's going to do it. Well, that's not cool if she's pregnant right now. I don't think she's pregnant. She already had the baby. Well, wait a minute. The man still has responsibilities to the woman if that's what he agreed to. Yet they girls don't care. They got many. Yeah. What's up, big money politics? It's not cheating. She knows what she signed up for. She's no victim. Well, I'll agree with you on that. I'll agree with you on that. And that's what I said. She's complaining now, but everybody told her before she even got pregnant. And we was all hating assholes. We was all hating assholes that could not get a rich nigga to look our way. When people were trying to tell her, hey, sis, look, he already had 4 babies by Kia. He didn't marry her. Not only did he have the 4 babies by her, he cheated on her with another woman. Still didn't marry her. She the one that left him, sis. Hey, you're gonna be stuck taking care of his kids. Her mentality was, well, I don't mind. I want to serve. Now she's complaining about serving, and she's complaining that nobody is checking on her. She's complaining that she's giving and giving and giving and giving, and nobody is making sure that her cup is getting filled. And she don't got time to make sure her own cup is filled. Sis, we all told you. Not everybody is hating on you. Sometimes people are telling you from experience. But a woman like that will let a man like Cam game them up. This is what Cam do, baby. You know them hoes just hating. They just hating. They wish that they had your spot. They wish they could be in your position. They wish they was as bad as you and as fine as you and was able to do what you do. They wish they was getting chose. They just mad because they not getting chose. And now they trying to keep you single. And a woman like Jasmine Brown will listen to it and believe all of it. Sir, my ad. Yeah, no, girl, you are an indentured servant. That's what it's giving. It's giving indentured servitude. And I want to feel bad for her, but I absolutely cannot. Because let me see how old Jasmine Brown is. That kind of stuff matters. I'm sorry. I give way more grace. Like if Jasmine Brown was an 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24-year old girl, I would be like, okay, sis whole frontal lobe ain't even developed. She ain't no better. She ain't no better. Or she lacked impulse control, right? But again, we've seen Jasmine on the internet several times warning against situations like this. So you knew better. And then on top of that, you ain't no spring chicken. Let me see. She 35. She's 35. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, God. No, absolutely not. I don't want to hear nothing she got to say. I don't want to hear anything she has to say. Now, let me say this should serve as a cautionary tale. Are there people who are miserable and bitter and jaded out here? Yes, absolutely. Are there people who just want to hate on other people's relationships? Yes, absolutely. But what I will say is that's why it's your responsibility to look at patterns of behavior. Another reason why I can't feel bad for Jasmine Brown is because we've seen this situation time after time after time after time again. ignoring reality because you want to do what you want to do is going to get you fucked up in these streets out here every single time. A lot of the times, the reason why we go through the things that we go through in life is because we didn't ask God, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Is this who I'm supposed to be with? You don't consult with God. And I'm not like this holy roller religious person, not at all. But one thing I do is talk to God about, folks. If this person ain't supposed to be in my life, show me. Let something happen. And if he show me they're not supposed to be in my life, I'm obedient. I move around. Dog, give me 1 second. I gotta go stir the pot. Okay. Thank y'all for staying here with me. I had to go stir the pot. I got a pot of oxtails on. What you say, Sultry? But if she grew up with pick-me-minded women, she won't know no better. She did know better though, Sultry. I can't believe she didn't know better because again, I've been following her since she like before she even blew up, like before her and Cam Newton were even associated with each other. Because remember, she used to be Toya Turnup, and she always used to put women up on game about men. So she knew better. What she did was she compromised on her standards because Cam Newton is a rich football player. That's it. That's all. Because he's a rich, smooth talking football player. To me, the stuff he says sound bullshit, like bullshit. But we're not gonna play like Cam Newton doesn't have any charisma. He even be risen up some of these female therapists, right? So he be risen up some of these full-grown women that's in their 30s and 40s, right? But I'll say this, like to the average woman, Cam Newton is gonna run game on him. Period. We not gonna act like he not smooth talking. He is. She's just being delusional and moving the goalpost in their relationship. Absolutely. You know, the man Ben said he don't want to get married. She should have known he wasn't gonna marry her because look, y'all go look at Kia Proctor. I'm gonna pull Kia up, matter of fact. Beautiful, 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 classy, good spirit. I'm gonna pull her up. Let me see. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna pull her up. I'm gonna show y'all her. It's to the point where there's this woman was a dream, in my opinion. Any man would be lucky to have her.
Okay. Oh, let me put mine on silent too.
Y'all see how beautiful she is?
That one's silent.
Beautiful, pretty, classy, a little Southern belle.
And we have a great co-parenting schedule. Like we do good with co-parenting. I feel like we do the best we can, and we make it work. We make it work for the kids. It has definitely been a work in progress, and I feel like it should get better with time. Just give it time. I feel like everything always gets better with time. 5 kids later, people always ask, "Oh, why are you like? What happened with your marriage?" Or like, "Why you're not in a relationship?" And I always say I was never married, but the relationship, I thought it was going towards marriage. And then my partner at the time had an outside baby. And he kind of wanted to...
I have 12 emails,
Now,
30 messages, and a proposal due by 10. How am I already underwater?
I'm in the...
Kia is the only one that I give a pass in this situation. Hold on. Kia is the only one I give a pass to in this situation. Why? They met when Kia was really young. She's 37 now. He had just entered the league when they met. Not just that, he met Kia out the strip club. So already off top, you can assume she probably didn't have the proper guidance. Y'all got to understand, when we were coming up, this whole gender war thing, or people giving information about men and the things that men do and how men move, that was not out there. I remember when they first got together. We were not having these conversations to the magnitude that we're having them on the internet. You got this football player who's willing to take you out the strip club, and not only take you out the strip club, but also provide for a child that you have from another man. And I remember he used to parade her around because people used to talk about her because she was a stripper. And he was like, I love her. She's stripperific. So not only did he take her out the strip club, but he also was unabashedly with her. He was proud to be with her. So this was probably a situation where it could have gone either way. He didn't necessarily have a track record to speak for him. So I'm going to give her a pass. He didn't have any other kids. He didn't have any baby mamas. Matter of fact, he was accepting her with her child from a previous relationship. So she didn't have anything to go on. Baby mama number 2 had something to go on, and Jasmine Brown had 2 previous baby mamas to go on. No excuse for her. His net worth is 50 million, can handle 6 to 7 kids and up. Is that really the amount of money that he has at his disposal? Because why is he complaining about not being able to provide? See, we can talk about his money, but there's something about his money that's funny to where he is feeling a way about it right now. And again, when you live a certain lifestyle and you have certain priorities to take care of, $50 million ain't shit. That's something to us because we regular folks with regular bills. $50 million to somebody who has a certain lifestyle and image to maintain and households to upkeep, it's not shit. She's hot, but I don't know if she's a star on Cam's roster of women, though. This was his main girl. This was, if he was gonna get married, it would have been to her. And we're not talking about just looks. We're talking about character. She has a YouTube channel. Y'all gotta go watch her channel. Very down to earth, humble chick, all about her kids. She's nothing like a lot of these football players' baby mothers that's out here. Yeah, I don't like that whole baby mama thing. Which one of these women are smart enough to run a staff of economic people? When you got Cam Newton money, you don't need a woman to run a staff of people. You can hire somebody to do that. Those type of men are not looking for women like that. Okay, you see Donald Trump had that in Ivana Trump and he got rid of her. They're not looking for that. Oh, I see what you're saying. I was talking about Jasmine Brown. Yeah. Jasmine Brown, I like, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like Jasmine Brown is a very beautiful girl. She's probably equally, I don't want to say equally as a good person, because honestly and truly, in terms of character, you don't see Kia out here bashing other women, comparing herself to other women, none of that. Like, she's very humble and very sweet. So my whole thing is, if I was trying to date a man and I had proof and evidence that he had a baby mother like this, my first thought would be, well, you didn't do right by her. What makes me think that you would do right by me? And yes, I know different situations and different people can bring out different sides of somebody in a relationship, but no, no. She too close to an ideal version of what a woman should be for me to just act like it doesn't mean nothing and he simply made a mistake. At this point, you the problem, sir. You're a real big problem. And he admitted he was a problem. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I am going to copy the link and I'm going to put it in the chat for anybody who wants to come up and give their opinion about the situation. You don't have to get on the camera. You can just talk with your avatar if that's what you want. But, you know, my whole goal and message in this live and the takeaway from this is to stop being hard-headed. There are certain situations that you're going to have to take with a grain of salt. Here's the thing with a lot of the advice that people give on the internet. People make generalizations and they make people make generalizations and they make blanket statements. You have to learn how to do two things at once. You have to learn how to view everything with a broad brush and also be able to view things on a case by case scenario. And this takes practice and it takes balancing. It's not an either or thing. If you can master that, you can save yourself a lot of trouble while still being open to something good if it comes your way. Oh no, I want that. And if money is dwindling, why not use their assistance to keep the gravy train going? He has a podcast at Investors. Again, like, I think we think these people have more money than what they have. Even with his podcast, y'all see No Jumper podcast is going broke. And they're a way bigger YouTube channel than somebody like Lovely T ain't going broke. She was talking about that. Why are these type of people going broke? You got to look at the type of sets they have. You got to look at the amount of staff members that they have to make these YouTube channels to that magnitude. It's not cheap. It's very expensive versus somebody like Lovely T who's sitting up at her office at home going live. It's not the same. Their overhead is way higher. And that's why I say, like, in general, you know, this is some advice I give to women. Only date men whose character is of a standard to where you would mess with them if they have money, if they were doing all right, or if they were broke. Especially if you a lover girl. Don't get with a man thinking, oh, he's got this amount of money right now. He's going to always have this amount of money. So I'm going to put up with whatever comes from him because he's going to always have this amount of money. No, because honestly and truly, if Cam Newton were broke, Jasmine Brown would not have stayed with him through all of that cheating. And that's what Cam Newton knows. She would not have been putting up with all that cheating from a broke dude. So if you wouldn't put up with it from a broke dude, don't put up with it from a rich dude. Period. Okay, guys, anybody going to come up? If not, I'm gonna go ahead and get up off of here, guys. It wasn't that long of a live today, but I just wanted to bring y'all something because I haven't been on in a couple days. And I hope y'all get the message, man. Learn, watch, learn. You don't gotta be dogmatic. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to be super duper strict. Be open, but also observant and wise at the same time. Hold on. What'd you say? I had something to say on your last stream. Yeah, I remember you coming up. Was that on my last stream or the stream before that? Did you want to come on today? Y'all let me know real quick. If not, I'm going to get off of here. I'll wait a little bit. Guys, if y'all are still in here, please hit the like button. I don't feel too masculine speaking on this. I only came here for you. Oh, thank you so much, Jamal. And I know this was more of a women's topic today, right? Sometimes I have some that is more catered toward the men. Sometimes I have something that's more catered toward the women. Honestly and truly, a lot of men will not see anything wrong with a situation like this. Right? Let's be for real. A lot of men feel like if I had that amount of money, I'd be doing the same thing, right? So again, I didn't make this to bash Cam Newton. I'm not even trying to bash Jazzy, but because men think like this, that's why you have to protect yourself, women. Because they don't see anything wrong with this. The average man is not going to see anything wrong with this at all. So it's on us, unfortunately, to protect our womb. It's on us to say, hey, I'm going to be giving up this amount of years on my life, or I'm going to put myself through stress, or I'm going to have to go through postpartum. I'm going to have to go through XYZ because you're the one who's going to be bearing the brunt of the responsibility and the heartache. Bring on politics, black elites, and the Illuminati or space and spiritual stuff. I want to do like a spiritual / zodiac show. So I'll do that soon. I feel like a lot of people were really upset with my political ideas. You have to understand the majority of my audience is black, and I love y'all. I love my people, but unfortunately, with the majority of the community, I disagree on a lot when it comes to politics. Do I find like-minded black people? Yes, but like the majority of my audience is black, so it's like when I come on here and talk about politics, I piss off my core demographic. You feel me? Now, I'm not going to front. I'm going to say what I want to say when it's time to talk about it. But I don't want to come on here and antagonize y'all every day. Oh, okay. Hold on. Hey, Sultry.
Hey.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Welcome.
I'm doing all right. I hope you're doing good today as well.
I am. Thank you.
Okay, I had a quick question before I start talking, but it's actually what you did on your last live stream. I guess it kind of tie in, but do you mind if I
no,
talk
I don't mind
about
at
your
all.
last one?
Go ahead.
Okay, so it was the one where that lovers podcast or something. I don't know what's called. Dear My Wife or something podcast.
Dear Future Wifey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that one.
With the pastor's wife. Yes.
Yes. Okay, that one. Okay. So I kind of wrote down what you were talking about so I could remember what I was gonna say.
Okay.
But, you were saying that men go with the safe option the last podcast.
Yes.
And Yeah, and you were I don't know if you necessarily said they would sleep with anything, but
Okay.
what I wrote down was I think that cause you were saying they get with the safe option, so they're seeing like what they can get away with, which was hence that lady. So, but also I don't know if you remember this or you saw this show, but it was that growing up hip hop show where Bow Wow was on it and he was dating this one crazy girl who was like overly obsessed with him, and she was like busting out his windows, like how you were saying in that show, like some girls can get crazy, like really obsessive with the dude that they dating. And it just reminded me of that grown up hip hop show with Bow Wow and how he was dating this girl. And he thought it was cute that like the girl was like obsessed with him until she like started putting her hands on him. Like, see, that's the thing though. It's almost it amazes me because like how you were saying they do the safe option, but they don't be like, it's like they don't know how to temperature check, which is weird because it's like what makes it weird that they don't temperature check is like they temperature check to see what girl gonna put up with certain stuff, but they don't temperature check to see what girl is crazy, that go far over the edge. That's
Yes.
what's confusing me.
And let me tell you something. Any woman that will sit up and put up with being cheated on for years and years and years, you got to assume that she has a mental issue, because no self-respecting person would put themselves through that. So off top, there's something wrong. Any woman who will sit up and risk going to jail because she's tearing up your car, constantly fighting other women, and she's doing this multiple times, you've got to assume that she's mentally ill. And yes, they think it's cute until it gets really serious. They think it's cute until she like their life is literally in jeopardy, or until they go to jail because finally they got to put their hands back on the chick. They think it's cute. And a lot of this has to do with having low self-esteem. A lot of men are walking around here and they are looking for women and multiple women to validate them. They don't think they're that dude. They don't think they're that guy. They don't think that they're handsome, smart, or worthy, right? So when they can get a woman to be obsessive over them, it makes them feel good about themselves. And what these women don't understand is they are fueling the man to go out here and deal with other women, because now his confidence is up. Because I already got this one acting crazy and behind me. Let me see if I can get another one or another.
You know, it's crazy how you just said that because I just saw somebody TikTok video the other day and the girl was like, she currently dating this dude and he told her that he makes her want to go out and talk to more girls. That's crazy.
That she makes him want to go out and talk to more girls.
Like how you was just saying how like because a woman gives a man an ego stroke, he like, man, well, I wonder if I can get the ego stroke from other women now.
Yes. Honestly and truly, it takes a really mature type of man to be able to handle a woman who truly likes him, is focused on him, and treats him right without him getting an ego boost and going out here and feeling like this is the battery in my back to deal with other women. Because I got this one to do it. Let me see if I can get another one. What I will say is this: if you cannot treat a man well without him behaving that way, then don't play his games, because you're always going to lose. Women, I don't care what anybody says, we feel like, oh, we play games better than them. No, we don't. For a time, but it destroys us. It's a losing game trying to play games with insecure men who were undisciplined. If you cannot give your focus to a man and show him that you love him and care about him without him feeling like that is just his battery in his back to go cheat, then just leave him alone and focus on yourself until somebody more mature comes around.
Okay, so I got something to add though. Okay, so when they get with those crazy girls, like how she was saying she was jumping on hoods to fight the girls that he was talking to in that last live stream you did. I'm like, okay, but that same girl, she the type of girl that will be in a hurry to put you on child support. And then the dudes be running to these podcasts and everything else. So she put me on child support. Yeah, because you chose that type of woman. Like, why you acting shocked?
Well, okay, hold on. I'm gonna push back a little bit on there. I feel like if you're okay, so here's my opinion on it.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all are not married, child support should be automatic. I feel like the man actually should go put himself on child support. And I personally don't feel like there's anything wrong with child support. Now, it's wrong if a woman goes and puts a man on child support just because she got in her feelings. But if y'all are not married, you should go put the man on child support. Why should you go put the man on child support? Or he should go put himself on child support. Because let's say the woman doesn't put him on child support. All she has to do is change her mind and decide 10 years down the road in a state like Texas that she wants to go put him on child support. And all those payments or whatever money he gave to her doesn't even matter. He owes back child support. So in my opinion, I know a lot of in our community, a lot of black men try to make it seem like it's wrong to put a man on child support. That's just because they don't like control. Because the argument is always, well, I was going to be paying for my child anyway, or I was going to do it on my own. Well, then why the hell does it matter? You just want to control when you give it to the woman. Mm-hmm. Whereas if you're on child support, it automatically comes out of your paycheck. Y'all don't got to argue about nothing. It's not even a conversation at that point. So what's the problem? The problem is control. The problem is the man want to be able to get the money when he want to get the money. He don't want to feel like nobody's telling him what to do. And to me, that is not a good system on how to make sure that two people stay out of their feelings and payments come to the mom when they need to come to the mom. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I want to add something though. Okay. See, this the other thing though too, cause you have men, they'll be like, oh, 1 minute, you know how you were saying earlier how like men will get a woman pregnant and then say like, I'ma be there, and you was like, don't depend on that because you want to see if they already supporting you.
Yes.
But the thing is, they'll be like, oh, I want to have a child with you. Oh, I see children as legacy. You know how they try to use this legacy word.
Girl.
But then they turn around and they leave the legacy. Huh? How that work?
Because just on a biological level, they're just programmed reproduce. You see, they're the main ones always talking about reproduction. They're the main ones reproduce. They're the ones who have the biggest problem with deletion of the child in the womb. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. Why? Because they don't really have any skin in the game. They're not the one who has to carry the child. And at any second they could up and leave. And yeah, they might have to pay child support, but honestly and truly, that's a small price to pay for your freedom. Because honestly, men could pay child support and never have anything to do with the kid. That's okay. Yeah. They have all the time in the world to go get some more money and make that little child support back. So it's like I love when Princella talks about this because she breaks it down so scientifically and on a biological level how we are in sexual conflict. Women are programmed to want quality, right? We want to have a quality person to produce with, and we don't want to. Most women don't sit up and say, I want to have 5, 6, 7 kids, right? And a lot of that has to do with the fact that we are the ones who have to deal with the psychological and physical and emotional and financial consequences of it. Men genuinely don't have any skin in the game. They choose to have skin in the game, right? But they could choose not to. So you're always going to hear them talk about legacy and how women should be happy having kids and how that is our purpose. But like, if you try to give them the right. If you gave men the option tomorrow to switch places with us, the majority of them would not.
But that's the thing though, because I think it's set up like that for a reason, because it's almost like when the child start crying, it's like women, we can stand that more than a man can.
It's
And
true.
then if you give like, that's why I do believe in like how you were saying in this other live where you say women have like nannies or they have midwives that help them in the beginning, because that man don't know what to do with a child when that
No,
baby is first born. Like you can give a child, like you can have the man be the supervisor once the child is like, I don't know, about 4 or 5, because the child can walk and it can talk and it kind of tell the dad what it needs. But when it's prior to that age, no, I don't
no.
recommend that man kind of be fully hands on. You know what I'm saying?
You're absolutely right. And that's why it's good to have these type of discussions, Sultry, because I feel like women have unrealistic expectations going into it, right? I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the situation with Jasmine and Cam would be different if she didn't have all those other kids of his to take care of, right? If she just had to deal with her one kid, it's still exhausting, but she'd feel a lot less exhausted. If she had planned and built a support system up before she had that kid and understood going into it that more than likely the man is not going to be there for you emotionally in the way that you think he should be because they're just built differently, she could have prepared and made a better decision. But because she came into this delusional, as most women do, most women feel like the man is going to want to help them and change diapers and make bottle. They don't want to do that
No.
shit. They don't even want to be in a house like that. They want to be gone. So that's why we have to start being realistic. I'm not telling women to go get into a situation like Jasmine Brown and be happy and joyful about it. That's not what I'm saying. Saying women need to understand the magnitude of the decision to have a child and they need to plan accordingly if they are going to do that and not put yourself in a situation where it's going to be 10 times harder for you. Stop expecting more from men than what they are biologically
Mm-hmm.
wired to do. Do you have some instances where men are happily helping with the bottles and the baby and are just as much of a nurturer as the woman? Sure. Sure. Is that the norm? No.
No.
That is the exception, not the rule. So if as a woman you're realistic about it, you'd be far less likely to get into these type of situations.
Okay, I definitely got something to add to that. Okay, because it's so funny how you just said that, because I was just saying earlier how like I do believe that women have um a lot of unrealistic expectations on men, to be honest, because it's almost like women want men to be programmed like women. And when I
It's
say
true.
that, it's like, cause like for an example, so I don't know if you've been watching like Pop the Balloon lately, but it's
Mm-mm.
almost like when you watch Pop the Balloon, they are saying like, oh, I want a man to be emotionally intelligent. I'm like, that makes no sense. Why do you
No,
want a man with emotional intelligence? Because men are not even built to have emotional intelligence. And
at
I'm
all.
saying, and I'm saying because men were the first thing. If your son is like 5 years old, 4 years old, and he remembers, he has like recollection of him crying, the first thing you told your son was to not cry. So you therefore told your son that it's not okay for emotions to be present. So how are you going on Pop the Balloon requesting that men be emotionally intelligent? That makes no sense to me.
Well, it's not even it's not even that in terms of their brain chemistry. They don't have the capacity to be emotionally intelligent. It's not natural. We I need to do an episode on this. There is a popular neurologist who studies brains. He's a male. He's a male. And it's several of them actually on YouTube. And they talk about how we have far more capability and activity in our brain than the male does. And here's
Mm-hmm.
the thing, men know that. That's why they place a lot of the responsibility on us, right? That's why they act like they're handicapped. Because in reality, majority are. I'm just being honest. Is that like is am I saying women need to put up with bad behavior? No, you don't have to deal with it at all. I'm saying adjust your expectations. I feel like the best that you can hope for in a man in terms of emotional intelligence is that he doesn't cuss you out and he doesn't yell at you and he doesn't put his hands on you. All that other, there are plenty of men who will not cuss you out, put their hands on you or any. They're out there. A lot of them are out there. But in terms of processing your feelings, being in tune with your feelings, wanting to sit and like deal with your emotional stuff that you got going on, that is so unrealistic.
Yeah, see, that's the thing too. I think that's part of some women's trauma as well, because I even had my own, my father was in my life, but I had feelings like, oh, he wasn't, emotionally there enough for me. But then as I got older, I'm like, wait a minute. He only know what he was taught. So I can't hold that against him. And that's what, like, just that eye opener right there, that's what helped me get over that feeling like he owed me something. But no, he doesn't owe me anything. That's my expectation I'm holding above him. So I have to let that go and accept him for how he is and what he can do, not what I want him to do.
Facts. And honestly, I'll be completely honest. I do understand a lot of the lack of men's emotional intelligence because I'm not a person that is extremely attached to my emotions. That's why I can talk about a lot of things or let people give their opinion or let people disagree with me, is because even though I'm talking about things, I have absolutely no emotional connection to it at all. I'm just talking about it because it's interesting to me. So like even me as a and mind you, I've been through a lot of things, like a lot of things in life, right? That required me to emotionally detach in order to move forward. Because if I
Right.
was to stay emotionally attached to all that, I honestly think I would be like in an insane asylum somewhere, right? So because of that, I have detached from a lot of things. So I'll even be honest, me as a woman, I get very annoyed when women get overly emotional about things that to me are illogical. And then I'll see other women who think that it's like I'll see other women reacting to other women and it's like completely different. They get her or they understand where she's coming from or they're like, "Oh, I would feel the exact same way." And I'll sit there and be like, "No, I don't understand why you feel that way or I don't understand why it's such a big deal or to me it's petty." So like a part of and then too I'm a Gemini. So we're a masculine sign. We're like a logic based sign. So a part of me can understand why men get annoyed by women's emotions because I get very annoyed easily when women are being overly emotional.
Wow. You know what's funny? I kind of feel the same way, but I'm definitely not a Gemini. I'm a Scorpio. Um,
Okay.
because like how you were saying, women can be overly emotional, but I'm in tune with my emotions. It's just I don't like people that go on a tangent with
Oh, I know
that's
that's right.
what get on my nerves. So I
I
be
can't
ready
do it,
to cut the
sis.
conversation right there.
I can't do it. Or if it's not solution based.
Right.
Like if it's not like, okay, how are we gonna move forward or how are you gonna work on being better or how are you gonna try like if it's just you want to keep going on and on and on. I
Yeah.
done gave you the advice. I done told you what to do. Then you calling me. Then you take your dumb ass and go do the same shit that was causing you to be distraught. And then you want to call me again with the bull. And then half of the time it really be bullshit. I'd be like, you really created this problem here.
Hmm.
You really like you are the one who like, yeah, especially when it comes to men, it's like, yeah, I see he did what he did, but like, do you not understand that like you were being petty in this situation, or you were looking to start a fight, or you were looking to start a problem? And it's like, I don't want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
Sorry. It really annoys me. Like, or even just with friends. Like when girls be like, oh, they fall out with their friends about stuff like birthdays. Now you got a homegirl that done came to every one of your birthdays for the past 10 years, but she didn't come to your birthday this year, and now all of a sudden you feel like she not a good friend or she fake or this is it's like, girl, you didn't think maybe she had to work? She had other shit to do. Does she have to come to every single thing you have to be a good friend? Bitch, you're not gonna have another birthday next year. Like, what? Why are you calling me with this?
Yeah, I think that some women are like super. I don't know. It turns me off. Like having female friends kind of turn me off. I'm just be honest, because they're like really attention starved, and that's why they're so male centered. Like how you were saying with Miss Jasmine here, and just choosing to and like you said, that part where she was like, I love to serve. I was like, oh my god,
Girl, stop. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Are there times, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm the type of person I will go out of my way when I'm in a relationship, or not even just when I'm in a relationship, like when I'm with family members, to make things festive or do my part or help out as best as I can. And like, I feel like it's necessary. I feel like it brings joy. You know, you could like think about back then in the holidays when it used to actually feel like Christmas and Thanksgiving, and you had the women who were baking the pies and all that. You know how it kind of used to be back then versus now.
Yeah.
People are more likely to get stuff catered. Like, it made the holidays special. So I'm not gonna say it doesn't add to the joy and it doesn't add to the experience, but you're also exhausted by the end of it all. So let's not play like that doesn't come with it as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that, because it was almost like, okay, I get the whole, okay, you want to make your house the home.
Hold on, Sultry. Look, I
Uh-huh.
got this pot of oxtails on. I'm gonna go stir the pot real quick.
Okay.
Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
Okay, yeah, like I was saying, I get like making your house a home and making it cozy and inviting for other people, but it's a time and a place, and you gotta have limits on that.
Yeah.
And you can't let folks overstay their welcome. But the thing about her though, what turned me off is like she made it seem like she a maid. Like that, no.
She is. and then she made it, she's the maid. She is the maid. She is the free labor. She is, girl. She is. She know it. And Cam knows it. What else is she? She is an indentured servant, girl.
Mm-mm. And taking on somebody else's kids, no.
And I think it would, and again, it would depend on the situation. How many kids does he have? How old are the kids? How old are the kids? Because it's one thing if you got all of them kids, or most of his kids are under 10 years old. So it's one thing if it's some teenagers, they can go, if they get hungry for lunch, they can go make them a sandwich or something like that. Maybe you cook them some dinner. If you got teenage girls, by then they should have started learning how to do their hair. I'm teaching my daughter 8. She know how to wash her hair and detangle it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that is a different level of work versus you got 4 kids, and then not just that, kid comes over there too. The oldest, now she's older though, right? But you got all these kids that you gotta feed, and you gotta chase around on top of trying to have a baby. No, it'd be different if they were all teenagers. Even then, that would come with a lot. That's a lot of kids.
Wait a minute. So where her family at? Is her family in there helping her with them kids?
Sound like not. And I wouldn't be, because didn't nobody tell you to get with this man that got all these kids and 2 baby mamas? I wish the hell I would. Again, it's a situation where Jasmine is 35 years old. She's not super young. This is the problem. Like, she willingly and consciously made this decision. Me as her family member, I would not be in there helping her with shit. If you want to bring your baby to my house for me to watch your baby, I'll watch your baby. I'm not about to be taking care of all them kids, sis. I ain't doing it. And she thinks she winning because she's the main chick right now. But the one that's really winning is the baby mama, because they split custody. Cam gets the kids for half of the week. She gets them for half of the week. So she got a whole half of the week to where she don't have to deal with nobody else's kids in her kids or anybody else's, where she can just focus on her goals.
Right.
And she's talked about this on her channel. So basically, Jasmine is the nanny for Kia Proctor.
Oh my God.
That's
sad.
She's the nanny, girl.
Voluntarily.
And Jasmine never gets a break.
But that's ridiculous.
Girl, and Jasmine never gets a break, because guess what? The half of the week where Cam's kids are at Kia's house, she still has her baby. Kia don't have no kids. Jasmine still has her baby. And then I don't know what's the situation. Or
it's a baby baby?
It's a baby. She just had this baby, last year? And then on top of that, he's got the baby that he has with the other baby mama. I know that baby can't be no more than 5 years old. So, and I don't know what the custody is looking like. So it might be a situation where Kia's kids go back home for half of the week, but the other half of the week, Jasmine still has to deal with her baby and then the other baby mama's baby. So that's what she never gets a break.
And she wanted to sign up for another baby mama. I guess that's on her.
Because he was rich, girl. She said, what she say? When a rich ninja wants you, when he put that pressure on you, that's what she said, girl. Okay. Play stupid games and win stupid prizes.
Oh my God.
And that's what I'm saying is, women, we got to think about more than the dollar amount that a man has.
Yeah, like you said earlier, that is not a fair exchange at all. Because when you get, like how you said, when you get impregnated, it's almost like you get no rest, even when the child, is born, because your mind is going a mile a minute, because you think about the preparations, the hospital bed, your morning sickness, and the third. Like, that's too much.
Facts. And then you got to think about, I don't care what nobody says. As a woman, you are going to want your body to at least be close to what it was before you have a kid. So you got to think about all the money that you're going to spend on, let's say you have a trainer, or all the time that you're going to spend in the gym trying to get it back right. Let's say you have things that you can't fix that require surgery. Okay, that's a cost. There are some things like you ain't gonna never pee the same after you have a baby. And the only way you can fix that is if you go get some type of surgery done.
What?
These are costs that women don't think about. A lot of women need vein surgery and vein therapy in their legs after they have a baby. If you're somebody like me and you have a disease, I have lipedema. So having a baby is going to cause my veins to get bad. It's going to cause me to have heaviness and pain in my legs and arms. You can only fix that through surgery. There are so many hidden costs and health costs that women don't know about.
That's true. And you don't know how your baby gonna turn out once you give birth, so
come on now. You could have a baby and then guess what? The kid has some type of intellectual disorder or some type of psychological disorder. Guess who's gonna have to pay for, let's say the dad leaves, guess who's gonna be the primary caretaker of the kid? And that's what I'm saying. kids require you to take off of work. A lot of women, when their babies are very young, have a hard time keeping a job. Because now in 2025, that school is going to call you if the kid cough a little bit. They calling you, come pick them up. You got to come pick them up or they're going to call CPS. It's not like back in the day when we were kids where you used to go lay in the bed in the nurse office until your mom got off work. They don't do that no more. You got to come get those kids. And they sending them home for every little thing.
And she gonna be doing that for like the next 20 years then.
Yeah, but that's what she signed up for. I honestly, truly, I have no empathy nor sympathy at all. I do not care. The only reason why I even talked about it is because there might be some women that are young who are watching my channel, or there might be some women who are, my age in their 30s or, late 20s who haven't had kids yet. This is for y'all. Move correctly out here. Jasmine Brown is a lost cause.
Ooh, all right. Well, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get off the live. Thank y'all for everybody who showed up. Please hit the like button on your way out and share my video and subscribe if you care. With that said, y'all have a good night. Goodbye.